Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a video on what I did for the first 30 days. I know if I don't do this soon, I'm going to kind of slowly forget exactly what I did. So we'll just kind of jump in. I went cold turkey. I have a problem with moderation. Obviously, I did not get this overweight being able to control what I was eating. So I just had cake one day and jumped into carnivore the next. I had steak, sausage, bacon. We made burgers with cheese. I do meat, dairy, spices, and I have 1 cup of coffee every morning with cream, heavy cream, and that's it. I don't do any artificial sweeteners. I don't do any vitamins. I do use keto chow, which is an electrolyte mix, and I also drink LaCroix. I'm not a soda person, but they really help with my cravings a lot. The no sugar, no artificial anything ones, just the bubbly water. So anyways, I started off week 1 eating 3 to 4 times a day. I would have like baked 2 to 3 eggs with 2 pieces of bacon in the morning, have like 2 or 3 grilled chicken thighs in the afternoon, and half a ribeye or maybe a whole ribeye. My snacks were homemade beef jerky that we made, or slices of cheese, and that's what I would snack on if I got hungry. I did that for about 2 weeks. I will tell you, the first 2 weeks, the eating well was easy for me because I was so determined, but I had a very rough time with the bathroom. My first 2 weeks, I was running to the bathroom some days 3 to 5 times in a day, just having terrible diarrhea. And the big reason for that is I went from eating carbs and sugars to not eating any. And the bacteria in my gut were used to having the carbs and sugars, and that's what they flourished on. So my body was just kind of shedding and eliminating those bacteria as they died off, as well as increasing the amount of fat I was eating. My stomach acid was not as acidic as it should be because you don't have to have high acidity when you're eating things like simple sugars and stuff. So, and my body had to also ramp up its bile production so it could dissolve the fats. So I had some fat that just kind of went through my digestive tract and out. So that is, I experienced, some other people I think have as well. If you go from doing things like low carb to keto to carnivore, I don't think it's such a big issue, but going from, the sad standard American diet to carnivore, it happens. 2 weeks in, tapered off. Right now I'm starting at week 9. I have no problems. I actually go to the bathroom once a day, maybe. Yeah, once a day. And no diarrhea, no constipation, no nothing, which is great. I make sure to drink plenty of water. Bacon was my big go-to to start with. If I had a craving, I went and had some bacon. It's a lot of fat, a little bit of protein, and bacon's delicious. I also made a how to make your homemade bacon video. It's somewhere up here if you guys want to watch that. It's not hard, and it is actually a lot cheaper and healthier than buying the store-bought bacon. What else? I did not exercise. I just worked on moving around more in the house, trying to do more things like making the bed, doing laundry, just trying to move around more. I was having to use a walker when I went out of the house because my back would be so painful. I couldn't hardly walk. I think I timed it the first time I did it. I made it 2.5 minutes was the furthest I could go before I had to sit down. And so I really didn't exercise a ton. I really held on to what started me on this journey. And I think this is the biggest thing is 1, being willing to change and look at why you've gotten where you've gotten. 2, accepting it and not shaming yourself. And last, finding that motivation. not a superficial motivation, not, oh, I just want to be thin, or I want to fit into this dress, or just fleeting things. Mine was right brain. My husband has been with me for 7 years. And I finally realized how selfish I was being. I had been putting myself and my wants, not even my needs. They weren't needs, they were desires, putting it above him, above his needs. I was isolating myself, and by proxy, he was isolating himself because I didn't want to go out and do things because I felt bad and was ashamed and yada, yada, yada. And it really affected him. He went from, I believe, like 145 pounds when we met to, when we started this journey, 176. It isn't a lot, but he has one of those metabolisms. He just never gained weight until I started gaining weight. He was eating bad. And I just realized how selfish I've been. My family wanted to go out and do things, my sister and brother and their spouses and my niece, and they wouldn't do it because they didn't want to leave me, and I was too out of shape and just in such a bad position that it was limiting what my entire family would do. And that is when it really hit me of how selfish I was being. And that's my motivation. For 7 years, Right Brains put me first, and it's about dang time that I put him first. And I will not be selfish anymore. I will not affect those around me by the choice of being selfish of what I put in my mouth, just to make me feel better for not even a split second anymore. So find your motivation. Because as I said, superficial stuff is fleeting, and it is not what is in your deep core of what you really need to look at. And this is different for everybody. What motivates me may not remotely motivate anybody else. And that's okay. So what else? So eat what you can when you can. Week 3 and 4, I went to eating twice a day just because I wasn't hungry. If I could go back though, I would put more butter on my meats, specifically chicken. Even though I was eating skin on chicken thighs, I definitely don't believe there was enough fat in it, because when I ate a ribeye, I would finish eating and not think anything about food. When I ate chicken, I feel like a couple hours later, I would be thinking about eating. So I think more fat on those types of meats would have been just fine. I think I didn't really tell many of my family members in the beginning. There is a lot of scoffing and clutching pearls at the idea of eating only meat, and it's already hard enough than having to have people kind of attack what you're doing. And that was me. At least I didn't tell, a lot of people around me. And now I don't care what people say. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. 9 weeks in, here I am not having a walker, bike riding, walking my dogs, and then just this past weekend I got on a paddleboard for the first time. And I have a really long journey ahead still, but I hope if you're watching this and you're thinking about doing it, or you are doing it, you can gain some inspiration that even being massively overweight, it can be done. I know there's tons of really fit carnivore people out there, and I'm really happy for them. I really am. It is a completely different ball game, mentally and physically, when you are morbidly obese. But this is 100% doable. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, just comment below. I really appreciate everything, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.